Hi everybody, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining me here at Friendship Shaving. My name's Mark and I'm going to be shaving once again with the Edwin Jagger 316 stainless steel razor with a feather blade in it. It ships with a feather blade and I really wanted to use one and let you know what I think of it. I've got a lovely soap to use today. It is a Central Texas soap and it is their Citrus Burst, and I'll talk about that momentarily. I'm going to be using the Friendship Shaving brush, the Macy, and this one has the Frank Shaving G4 synthetic knot in it. So just going to get that wet. And I'm going to put on a drop of pre-shave. Going to have a citrus shave today, as I've already said, so I'm going to use my executive shaving lime and patchouli pre-shave oil, which is water soluble, so there's no muck left on top of the water. I'm having a morning shave this week, which is a rare thing for me. I've normally made my video by now. It didn't go according to plan, so I thought I'd come in here, and once I've shaved, I'll upload this straight away for you. Now, while I'm building a lather with this soap, I'm going to be bowl lathering today with one of my shaving bowls. This one came from Graham, aka Flash Boredom. It is in fact a soup bowl, and it is being used once again just to show you that if you are new to shaving and new to bowl lathering, you don't need to buy a special bowl. What I would say though is to get a bowl with plenty of room so you are not constantly bashing the brush against the edge of the bowl. Now I'm going to put that on my sink. I find it much easier to put the bowl down on something to bowl lather. Now this soap is the first that I have used from Central Texas Soaps, from Greg Smith, and some soaps are very, very reminiscent of childhood things, and this one certainly is nostalgic for me. It smells of a sweet that I used to buy as a child. I can't quite remember the name of the sweet, but it is a lovely, fresh, fun scent. It is made up of sweet orange and grapefruit as the top notes, and then sitting behind that is pineapple, cassis and vanilla. The cassis fruit is the French name for blackcurrant. I had to look that up, I didn't know what cassis was. But this little sample has come to me from Greg via Arthur Askew and via my friend Billy Curtis. So it's done quite a round trip before it's got to me, and Billy has kindly passed on a few Central Texas soaps for me to try, so you will be seeing them over the next few weeks. Now I'm just going to keep adding a drop of water to this. There we are, I think that will do nicely. Now I'm just going to dampen my face again. There we go. Now you may have realised, if you've seen my last shave, that I've been enjoying the Edwin Jagger razor. Really, the last shave was the bread and butter of my review on the Edwin Jagger. There's a lot of detail in there, so perhaps if you're coming to this one for the first time, you might like to check out the first video, and I will put the link below in the description for this one, and I'll put them together in a playlist so they are easy to find. This, as I said, is a feather razor blade, and it is on its 5th use. There we are, look at the lather on there, beautiful. Now I've been reading around about the 316 razor from Edwin Jagger, and not everyone has a favourable impression or a favourable first impression about this razor. Some of the comments are that it provides a rough shave, or that it's a little bit harsh, and a few people have commented that they keep cutting themselves and getting nicks with the razor. And I can certainly relate to that. I've used this razor quite a bit now, and it's only in the last 2 shaves that I've stopped cutting myself and getting nicks. There is a definite technique to this razor, and it's taken me a little while just to catch it. There we are. Now I'm just going to move my bowl a bit nearer the back of the sink, and I don't want to knock it off. I kept getting irritation along this part of my neck here, and it's been quite bad, and as I said, it's in the last 2 shaves that all of the issues that I had with regard to bumps, nicks and cuts have all disappeared. Now, I hope that I managed to get through today's shave with no problems, and now that I've just told you that all my problems have disappeared, famous last words and all of that. myself, I found that there is a very definite angle for this razor, the optimum angle. Once you have that, it is a very smooth razor to use indeed, in my opinion. But if you don't quite catch that angle, it can be a little rough or feel a little harsh, particularly going against the grain. Going with the grain is always easier, obviously, and particularly I felt that in this area of my neck, that it was occasionally a little bit rough. But as I've used it, those issues have disappeared. And I would say there is about a 2-week probation period for this razor. My kind of experience of shaving with it over the last couple of weeks is a little bit like a sine wave, you know, sort of this regular sort of shape where it was a great shave, not such a good shave, a really good shave, a bit of a harsh shave, and it was kind of like that for a little while. Now last week's shave, I had a fantastic shave. I was certainly excited by having the razor on video, but it was a very good shave indeed, and it's just odd moments where if you don't catch the angle just right, it suddenly appears a little bit harsh. As I said, my area that was causing me a great deal of difficulty was here, and I had to put antiseptic cream on. So it may be that if you're having a little bit of difficulty with the Edwin Jagger, it may be just that it's not quite sitting right with regard to that angle. I did wonder, I said last week that I placed it in terms of performance and aggression squarely between the Muller R89 and the Muller R41. Now, as I was using it, I kept thinking, do you know, this is quite aggressive. I wonder if I had that right. So what I did very early on in the week, I did a half and half shave with the Edwin Jagger 316 and the Muller R41. Now, I found the Edwin Jagger to be not as aggressive as the R41, but on that shave it was really quite up there, quite close in performance and aggression. And you know, the very next shave I had an entirely different shave with the razor, and based on the shaves from that point onwards, I would say that my initial thoughts on this razor, positioning it between the R89 and the R41 is exactly right. There is a very large blade gap on this razor and a little bit of blade exposure. That all adds to it being quite aggressive if you don't hit that right angle. And just now I can feel that it's absolutely spot on. And I think the large blade gap was why I kept cutting myself. Now I have looked on the Edwin Jagger website and I can't find any measurements for the blade exposure or the blade gap, but let me just show you. You can see, there we are, there's the gap there. I don't think you can see that way, the blade exposure, but the blade gap is certainly quite large. There is a definite technique to this razor. I really want to emphasise that. What I'm finding now is that I'm having a really terrific shave. It is really effective, but quite comfortable. The only real area where I still get a little bit of soreness is just here, but it's nothing really to write home about at all. Now let me just talk about the Macy, the friendship shaving brush. Many of you all know that I have another brush with the G4 knot from Frank Shaving. In fact, I've got it up here. There we are. That's the one that I normally use. It's a fantastic knot and it's no difference in this brush. It's beautifully soft, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to bowl the lather today. So I've got to use some of that softness. I'm painting it on my face, but it also works very well. As you can see, in a splayed motion. Move that one out of the way so you can see the star of the show. The brush, not me. there are on this razor, on the guard bar, I'll show you in a minute, there are what are described as delicately ridged skin guards. And basically on the guard bar there are ridges. I can't quite see how they affect the shave in a different way to a standard DE guard bar, which is just the flat bar. The idea, of course, of the guard bar, the solid guard bar, is that it stretches the skin to create an even flat surface to shave over. I can't see that having the ridges affects the shave really one way or the other. Perhaps if I get up close you can maybe see those. Down here, look, on this guard bar there. But a very nice razor. I have been enjoying this very much. It's a lovely thing. It's beautifully balanced and weighted. It really suits me. Shaving foam in my ears. Do you know, this soap is a fantastic scent, it really is. It's just really, really lovely. It really brings back a memory of the late 60s, early 70s. Cutting across, used to live where there were some open fields and we had to cut across the fields to get to the local sweet shop. And it really brings back a memory of that sort of journey and going to get your penny sweets. Fantastic scent, fantastic. It is a vegan soap. Now, I'm just going to rinse my face again. There we are. I've had a very close shave today. I would say that it is quite an aggressive razor, quite an effective razor. Certainly I can feel that I've had a very, very close shave. A couple of the comments I've received are from gentlemen that only require 2 passes with this razor, and I feel that I could certainly get away with 2 passes. I feel for me actually I'd like to use it 3 passes with the grain, and I think that would be a really, really nice shave. So bear that in mind. If you like a really, really mild razor, or the Edwin Jagger DE89 is your just optimum shave, you may not want to step up to this. It is a little bit, it is quite a bit more aggressive than the DE89. As I say, comparing it with the Muller version, the R89, it's definitely a couple of steps above that and a couple below the R41, but you certainly know you had a close shave. Now today I'm going to use my 1912 Club Cola Aftershave Balm from Wickham's, just because it is also a citrus based balm, and I feel it will go very well with the Central Texas Soaps Citrus Burst. What I like about the Club Cola and the Citrus Burst, and it's very clever, but somehow they kind of smell a little bit fizzy, a little bit sherbety in respect to the Citrus Burst. But I think that's a fantastic skill as a soap maker, to be able to make me think of a fizzy sweet. There we are, that is my shave for this week. Let's put a star of the show up on the windowsill there. I will put the link in the description. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. You take care now. All the best.